The first thing you need to do is either visit your local builders merchants or your local DIY shop, because they'll all stock OSB board. The size of the OSB board you want is 8 foot by 4 foot, and it needs to be 18mm in thickness. Right, so once you get to your DIY shop or your builders merchants, you're going to need to get your OSB board cut into the correct pieces for making the wooden toolbox. I personally go to B&Q because they have a really good wood cutting service there. You just take your board to the place where they cut the wood up, you hand over the dimensions of the wood which you need to be cut up. They will then cut the wood up for you. You just put it into your trolley, go to checkout, pay, load it up into your car. As you can see, I've got some of the wood here which I've had cut at B&Q. The advantage of having it cut at places like B&Q or your local builders merchants is you get a really good cut. It's square, the edges are nice, the pieces are all identical in size, which is really important. So I would recommend having your wood cut at your builders merchants or at the DIY shop if they offer that service. B&Q, you get 5 cuts for nothing. After that you have to pay 50p a cut. I will also say that out of an 8 foot by 4 foot board you will get at least 2 toolboxes of this size. You get at least, plus you will get some leftover overcuts from it, which I'm going to do later projects like building bird boxes and stuff like that, so you will be able to use those soft cuts up. So you bought all your wood, you're going to need your fixings next, which basically is just screws. Now I buy them from B&Q as well because they do a pick and mix service. They've got loads and loads of boxes of different screws, just like when you was a kid, when you went to your sweet shop and you chose different sweets to put into your pick and mix. Exactly the same with screws. You just pick whichever you want of a variety of sizes. What you've got, I use the 4 pound bag. So you just get this little plastic bag they have. You just fill it up with any size screws you want. I absolutely love it. I make sure it's filled right to virtually overflowing so I can just fasten it, and I really do get my 4 quid's worth. And you get a lot of projects made with a 4 quid's bag of assorted screws. Okay, so we've got the wood sorted out, we've got the screws sorted out. Next job is marking out, which is vitally important. Okay, so that's it. Next job, marking out. Cheers, guys. So you've got all your wood cut, you've got a piece for your lid, piece for your base, and you've got 4 cuts for the side of the toolbox. Right, now it's time to mark everything out so you know exactly where to put your screws in and where to drill out the various holes and bits and bobs you need. Okay, so first I'm going to just put this together. Just use it to show you roughly how we'll go about putting it like that. And you get this one here like this, and like that. So we get quite close. Get the clamp, get the clamp. Got that. Okay, so get the clamp up. Put it like this. Then you get the lastly. Get the box. Put it like inside the lastly. There you go. And that. And this. Right. Okay. And I can start to put it there. Right. This is just quite old. As you can see, you pick up and that'll go smoothly onto lace. Right. So let's just leave that there a minute. And I shall get one I made earlier, Blue Peter style. Here's one I made earlier. Okay, put this over here. Right, so marking out is simply marking out where you're going to put all your screws and where you're going to cut out your various holes. Right, so you've got 3 screws here, 3 screws the same on this side, so you're going to have to mark it out here. Mark there, mark there, mark there, mark there. So you've got 1, 2, 3 marks. Same this side, 1, 2, 3 marks. Same on the reverse side, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 down the other side. And you're gonna have to mark out where you're gonna put the the handhold, which is that. Then you're going to have to mark out on the base, and you're going to have four screws on the base, so you're going to have to put a mark there, a mark there, a mark there, and a mark there. So you've got 4 marks on the base where you're going to put your screws in. And the lid, you're going to have to mark out where the handhold's going to go, so you can lift the lid off. And you're going to have to mark out where you're going to screw these pieces of scrap wood on, because these are what keep the lid fitting snugly on top of the toolbox, so if you tip it up it don't fall off. If you stack another toolbox on top of here, the lid ain't going to slide off with the toolbox on it. So that's basically marking out. There's another way of holding your wood together. Once I've found my masking tape, you get your masking tape. It's surprising how well they hold together with masking tape. Put a piece of masking tape here. Piece of masking tape over here on this side. Turn it round. Piece of masking tape over here. Piece of masking tape there. A piece of masking tape over here. As I step in front of the camera, but I'm not an expert at filming YouTube videos. Right, so we've got the 4 pieces of tape on. You see, normally you'd have your clamp on when you actually put your screws in into your pre-drill holes. You'd have the clamp on, but if you haven't got a clamp, you can use masking tape just like that, and it just hold it. It does hold it in position so that all your wood's lined up nicely, and when you put your screw in, it goes straight. It goes straight into the wood you're drilling into on the opposing side. So first of all, as I mentioned previous, we need 3 screws in that side, 3 screws in this side, the same on the reverse. So I've got to pre-mark, and I'll show you what size drill bit to use. Okay. Right. Pre-marking, really simple. You want your screw to go in dead centre of the opposing side you're screwing into, so it needs to go in dead centre. As you can imagine, if it goes in near the edge, it's weak. If it goes in near that edge, it's weak. If it goes in at an angle, it's come out that side, or if it goes in an angle this side, it'll come out the wood that side, so it needs to go in dead straight. Plus, you don't need the pre-drilled holes near the top. You need it at least, what, 3 centimetres down, because as you can imagine, that you do it near the top, it's going to be weak. The fastening will be weak because it's near the edge, so you keep it down 3 centimetres. Right, pre-marking, really easy. Nothing's complicated in this project, honestly. It doesn't have to be, because I'm doing it. Right, so you get your wood, you place it flush with the edge there. You get your pencil this side, and you just mark it straight down, just straight down the side of the wood. So what you've got is, as you can see, got a straight line along there, which is the thickness of this wood. Okay, then you just hold this wood sideways, you mark it, hold it sideways, there, sideways, there, sideways, there. So what you've got 3 squares, as you can see. 1, 2, 3. Right, you find the centre of those squares, because that's where you want your pre-drilled hole to go, just by making a cross. 1, 2, 1, 2. Now, if you drill where the cross intersects, you're going to get a hole bang smack which will go bang smack in the middle of this side, as you can see. So you get your drill. I've pre-drilled these outside so as not to make any sawdust in the house, because that's one of my golden rules. you don't work inside the house because you don't want sawdust. You don't want to be breathing it in your living environment. So I know sometimes it's tempting if it's raining, but don't. Make yourself a shed, build yourself a little shed. So, first one, pre-drill, down. One there, one through that cross where you marked it, one through that cross where you marked it. So, as you can see, put the drill in. Okay, and I did mention the drill bit needs to be very small. Get a screw out. So when you're screwing, obviously it does the screw will bite into the wood, so the drill bit needs to be slightly smaller than the screw. And the reason we're doing the pre-drilling is you want your screw to go in straight, and with a pre-drilled hole, like I say, you can turn it like that. If you pre-drilled the hole, the screw will go in straight. If you don't pre-drill it, the screw has a tendency to go skew with and come out the wood. Plus that's smack bang in the centre of that, so you've got it maximum strength. You've got it 3 centimeters down. So that's basically how you do your initial holes. To do your other pre-drilled holes, it's really easy. You just use this as a template. So put it on top of there. And smack on the piece of wood on the opposing side. So line them up exactly, because you've had it cut at B&Q. They fit they're exactly the same size. So you can pre-mark it. So you've got that. Right, so get your drill in that hole there, down there, and until it touches the wood underneath and leaves an impression of the drill bit. So you do it 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Then you've got your markings to go through that side. Turn it over, this piece over, do it on the other side. So then you've got your markings again, the holes through the holes you've just drilled. 1, 2, 3. And on the original piece, on this side where you haven't marked it at all, you use the wood you've just drilled through, put it on top, line it up, use the holes you've just drilled as a template for this side. So it's 1, 2, 3. So you've only marked it once, but by flipping it over and using the holes you made on the other piece as a template, you can get all your holes cut in exactly the right place. Right, and for the base, you're going to want to pre-drill 4 holes to hold the base onto the bottom of the toolbox. You can just use this, just get it roughly, get it in the centre, get your drill, pre-drill there. That's 1 hole. Now on this edge, again, roughly centre. You can do it by now, you can measure it if you like. Okay, so that's lined up. 2, that side, 3. So you do it 1, 2, 3, 4 by using the initial template you've made. So that's all your pre-drilling done for this day. So the next step is to screw the sides together, and then measure. There's some pre-marking to do on the lid. And then after you've pre-marked the lid, you can screw the box together and screw the base into place. Oh yeah. Right, I've been outside and I've fixed the box together so I can mark the lid and show you how to do the markings. Before I do that though, I just want to have a quick word about screw size. When you get your pick and mix, there's such a variety. I mean, there's one that size which is a fixed size screw, but I don't use it on this project for the simple reason if you drill it in, it will split the OSB board. So you want you don't want fixed screws like that. You want nice thin screws, and they'll go nicely into the wood and hold everything in place without splitting the OSB. And like I say, you need to do it 3 centimeters down as well. So that's the screw size you want to use. Okay, so like I say, you can just start these by hand if you want, like that. Get it nice and straight. just a quick word before I do the marking out. I'm not going to drill it now, but like I say, you got it nice and straight, you've got it all in position, you've got your clamp on. I recommend using clamps, but like I say, you can do it with the tape, but it's not as good. Anyway, so put your first screw in, bang, second screw, bang, third screw, bang. Like I say, I've only put one in just to hold it together because I want to mark the lid. Put your lid underneath. Okay. The lid underneath and stop the screws rolling around and getting in the way. Yeah, always keep a clean work surface. Okay. Yeah, that's not a joke, it does make life easier. Okay, so get that nicely lined up. Okay, so to mark your lid out, you just need your pencil, you go inside and you just trace out the square. So, there we go. That's one edge done, 2 edges done, 3 edges done, and 4 edge marks. So that's the markings done on the lid. Right, take this off. Pop this out of the way. Right, here we go. So now, if you have a look at the lid, I don't know if you can see it. Can you see I've traced it all the way around the inside edge of the box. So what you do now, you have to tap these bits of wood on just to the inside edge of that square you've traced. If you can see it there, you can see we've marked it previously. So you get scrap wood and cut it to the right size, screw them on just to the inside of that edge, and when that goes into the toolbox, it stops it sliding off. So the piece you want, here's some scrap wood I've got, like I say. So once you cut it down to size, oops, you'll just go to the inside edge of that and just screw it on. Screw 4 pieces on to the inside edge. So you've got one there, one there, one there, and one there. Right, just a quick word that you don't screw these bits of wood straight on without pre-drilling because they'll split. So you get your little drill bit you used earlier for your pre-drilling, and you pre-drill a hole straight in exactly the same way. So once you've got your pre-drilled holes, you can get an appropriate size screw from your pick and mix. So obviously it's got to go through that wood, but not come out the other side of the lid, or else you're just going to have screws sticking out top of the lid. So that's what you do. Put them on into your pre-drilled holes. Get your drill, put your drill bit in, just screw them to the lid. So you're going to cut them to the right size, which is probably to there. It's just common sense in it. To there, just marked it. So you're going to put one there, screw one there to the inside edge, and screw one there. And once you've screwed all 4 on, you've got your lid. What we're going to mark out is we're going to mark out the lifting hole either side. I've got to mark out that hole, the lifting hole for the lid. So I've put the one I'm constructing just here. So what you do, you get the height for that bit. So you do that, get your set square. So if we're going to do this one the same height of this one we're doing, it's there. So I can just mark that now with that set square. So we know the height on that one. What I do, I'll shift this out of the way so I can show you how to mark the rest of this out. Okay, so we've got this. Right. I'll just quickly show you this anyway. You can use a saw as a set square. I don't know if you know. That's 90 degree, that's 45 degree. So you put it that way. That's 90 a level line, 90 degree. And if you move it that way, that line there is a 45 degree. You have to make a frame. So it's useful knowing on the saw you've got two. You've got a 90 degree angle and a 45 degree angle. It's useful to know just for cuts. Anyway, so we've got the roughly the height of the top of the lifting hole. Now we need to find the centre point. So that's. I'll just measure it up with this. Get my glasses on because I'm as blind as a bat. Right, so that's 40 centimetres. So we're going to want the centre point, which is 20, which is just here, just there. That's 20. So we've got the centre point. So you get the centre point, which is there, down there. That's the centre point. Now we've got the height of the top, which I took from the other one, which is just here. So we do that. Right. So you've got that sort of like an invert. You've got like a sort of like an intersection of two lines. Right. I use that to draw the hole on. So what I do, I line the top up so it's level, and so you can see my common sense. There's a little line just there. Can you see it? So I line that up with the vertical, and I line the bottom of the protractor with the horizontal. Then I draw across, and I draw a line, and that is the hole you're going to drill out. So you drill that out with a jigsaw, and the way you do that is you put this drill bit into your drill. Let's put it in for you. If I can figure out which way I'm turning things. So that's in there. Right. So you put a hole bang smack in the corner there, and that's where your jigsaw bit will fit through. But let me have a look. I know I've got one. I've got one over here, I think. There you go. Right, so I've done one here, look, can you see? So your drill bit will go straight through there. If I can just push it through. I haven't drilled it, I've just pushed it. Can you see? It's gone straight through. And then that's your drill bit, that's your jigsaw bit, that will go through that hole. And common sense says you get your jigsaw, you go along the horizontal line, and once you've gone through the horizontal line, you put it in that hole at that angle, and you cut round the curve. So and then you just cut it out with a jigsaw. So that's how you do the sides. You do that side, you repeat it on the opposite side, and then you cut it out with a jigsaw. But you don't cut it out from this position. You'll disassemble this, because I've done it with 2 screws. Quickly do this. Yeah, quickly do this. So put it on that. So quickly disassemble this. One. Two. And you got that. You take it down to your workbench, your Black & Decker workmate in my case. You thoroughly clamp it, and you drill it out. You drill it out from that piece. You don't drill it out while it's assembled in the box. You just take it. Now it's time to mark out the lid. And we've got the lid here. The blank lid. So we need to mark out this onto this. So first part is find the centre line, and this is 40, so you want 20. So do 20 here, I use my saw this time. So get your saw, use it as a 90 angle set square, and you're going to want it just there. That's your first line, if you can see it. Did that with the saw. Now you're going to want the exact intersection of that. So we do it this way. And that's 44 centimetres, so we need 22 centimetres, which is here. Mark that there. Use my saw again to act as a set square. Okay, so as you can see the centre point. From that centre point, right, so this is 8 centimetres, so I'm going to put that at 4 centimetres just there. As you can see, 4 centimetres, and I'm going to mark either side 4 centimetres, so that's the width of it. Is 8 centimetres in total. So as you can see, you've got 8 centimetres in total, 4 centimetres either side. That's bang smack in the middle horizontally, bang smack centre point in the middle vertically. So that is going to be, where the hole is, where you put your fingers in. Right, measure that out. If you've got one of these, it's useful. They're just they're just a drill bit which take out circular holes. So if I line that up with that, so it's central, take it round, and I line that up with this one, so it's central. Take it round again. Right, as you can see, I've done 2 circles around that drill bit. Then what you do, you get your set square and you just join together the outside edges of the circle. There roughly. Right. And that's what you're going to drill out. What you'll do is you'll get that drill bit, you'll bore a hole there, the first hole, you'll bore a hole there, and you'll have 2 holes looking through like a pair of binoculars. Then you'll join them, you'll get your jigsaw out, your jigsaw along the top line, jigsaw along the bottom line, and what you end up with is a lid with a hole in it like that. As you can see, look, I've put the bore in that side, did it that side, put the bore in that side, took out 2 cores, then I've joined them up with a jigsaw, and it creates a handhold, and that's how you do the top. So I hope that explains it. That's how you do your marking out and your drilling out. Okay, cheers then. Right, I just want to do a real quick recap so you know, just a quick recap on the building office toolbox. First, you get your woodcut at B&Q, 6 pieces all together. You've got a lid, you've got a base, you've got 4 sides. Your lid and your base, that's 40 centimetres by 44 centimetres. See that? Your base is the same as your lid, 40 by 44 centimetres. Then you've got your 4 sides, which are 40 centimetres by 30 centimetres. Flip it over. Quickly take off the base. So here's your base, 40 by 44 centimetres. Remember, the first job is to mark out, as I've showed you in a previous video. Pre-drill with your tiny drill bit. Pre-drill each hole. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Screw the base down. Screws like that. Remember, not too thick. Not too short, so they go in and they hold it securely. So that's the lid done. That's the base done. Sorry. Right, let's flip it over. Size exactly the same as the base, so I'll just take them out. Just take the screws out quickly. If you remember, pre-mark it. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Pre-drill again with that small drill bit. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Get your screws exactly the same as you use for your base. Put it into position. Okay, then you got your bigger drill bit. Drill it into the corner. You mark it out as I showed you before. You get your drill bit. You mark it into the corner. So you've got a hole just there. Then you get your jigsaw to show you the jigsaw blade. So then you got your jigsaw. You put it in the drill hole. Drill across with the jigsaw. Do the curve with the jigsaw. Piece falls out. You've got the handle either side. Right, I'll just put the lid back on. As you can see, it won't take me long to put this box together. Then, like I say, lid fits snugly in there. Right, now I'm just going to quickly recap how we did the lid. Let's do the old first. So we marked it out, then we got that piece, we drilled a hole out there, we drilled a hole out there. You had 2 holes like a binocular. And blimey, drop my jigsaw piece. And you get your jigsaw, the jigsaw bit. You join the 2 holes up, gives you an handhold. Take your lid out. Alright, then you have the scrap bits of wood so the lid fits snugly into the toolbox. Right. First, you get your scrap bits. First, you mark it, as I've showed you. You get your scrap bits of wood. Or you pre-drill the hole with a small drill bit, so it don't split the wood. You got your markings. Put it into place on the markings. Remember, you pick the screw which doesn't go all the way for the lid. Screw it back into place. That's your lid done. You do it 4 times. Bring the toolbox back over. Lid back on. And there you go. Give all the edges a good sanding. Just along the edges, because you might find because it's OSB and it's made out of fibres, you might find it chip a little bit. You might get the odd splinter in your hand. Very rare. I haven't got one in my hand during the whole making of this toolbox. But what you need to do is just sand down these edges, make them nice and smooth. Take off all the rough little potential splinters. Do the same around your handholds. Just a nice little sanding, bit of sandpaper. Just half an hour sanding tops for the whole toolbox. Don't forget the sanding. Okay, guys. Cheers. And that's the first project complete. I hope it's of use to you. Cheers. Bye. Okay, just one last thing. I said I was finished, but one last thing. You can make a worktop to go on top of your toolbox. That's the worktop. So you mark it out so that fits snugly on top of the of the lid. So it's going to lock into place. It's dead easy. Let me just show you. That's your lid. Hopefully self-explanatory. That's your lid. Put your lid onto the worktop. Draw around your lid, pencil. Fix these bits of scrap wood on, pre-drills. Fix them on so it locks the lid into place. Then you've got your lid, goes on top of your toolbox. Then you've got your worktop, goes on top of your lid. Locks into place. Then, as you can see, you've got a toolbox which turns, say you make cards or you do crafting in your own home, you can turn it into a worktop. I'll just lift the camera up to show you the top. There you go. So you can just stack that behind your toolbox and then you can get your stuff out, put your worktop on, and you've got a work surface to work on. It's just an additional extra if you want to do it. Okay guys, thanks.